State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has approved billions of naira for clearing of 1,200 hectares of land across the state. Taiwo Olatunbosun, the Commissioner for Information, disclosed this in a statement. According to him, the approval of over 2.6 billion naira was taken at the state's executive meeting held on 29th of November and chaired by Governor Oyebanji. 264,800,000 naira only for land clearing to support youth in agriculture. The exercise will involve clearing of 200 hectares of land for some interested youths in Ado and Ekiti West local governments, with both the state and the local governments splitting the cost evenly at the sum of 132,400,000 naira only, he said. Another 2,350,000,000 naira for clearing of 1,000 hectares of land to support youths in agricultural program and specific communities, cooperatives for dry season farming to support youth in the initiative designed to increase agricultural production, revolutionize and boost economic potential through youth engagement at various locations across the state. Critics have, however, argued that the project's cost is excessive and unjustified, particularly considering the state's financial constraints. We were just talking about the Edo State, and then you mentioned about the governor focusing on infrastructural deficits of the state instead of donated textbooks that were distributed to students. We have in Ekiti State that the governor spent 2.6 billion naira to clear lands. What is your thoughts about this?
Well, initially when I saw this story, I just felt like crying, because for me, I think it's ludicrous. It is unfortunate that we have people who have been elected into government, figures like this, in the name of wanting to clear vast acres of land. Now, the question I ask is, the people that will be coming to clear, are they coming from outside space? Are they coming from Mars? Are they coming from America? Are we having expatriates coming to clear the lands that will pay them in hard currencies? I mean, it has become so worrisome that it seems as though these government officials, perhaps they think that Nigerians are so stupid and foolish that they can just throw anything at us. If you are spending 2.6 billion, or you are proving, because I'm aware the money has not been spent yet, but the money has been approved.
Yeah.
Now, if such an amount is voted into clearing of land, now what will be spent on the land in the name of agriculture? Then we are looking at, triple that amount to set up whatever projects that, they have in their minds that they want to do. So it's not something that the Ekiti people, for me, should take lying low, because you don't have that authority, you don't have that right, even as a governor of the state, to waste the people's money, all in the name of doing whatever you like.
The government approved this money for the reason that the state government gave, that they want to use this money to clear lands. So it means that if the state government comes and say, we want this money, we want a specific amount of money to wash cars, it will be approved without a particular body overseeing the financial disbursement about this, and then if they were actually supposed to be used for a particular purpose. Does it mean that anyone can come from, any state government can come from anywhere and say, we need this particular amount to do this, and it gets approved? Because as it stands, Ekiti State is generally in the country, there's a backlash. I'm not say a backlash. There has been an economic downgrade, and then some states have actually not been able to pay the minimum wage to public servants. And the hardship has actually been back and forth. There's been security issue, there has been hunger, and all of that. And there are other areas that some money can be put into to get the country, the people, to at least survive. In Ekiti State, they actually said that there has been some financial constraints. What do you have to say about this? Is it that clearing of land is actually the most important thing as it stands, and not other things that concerns the citizens of the country?
Yeah, of course, you've actually stated the obvious. It was Socrates who said that the unexamined life is not worth living. Now, even as you look at Ekiti State today as it is, Ekiti State is one of the states of this country that gets the lowest federal allocation.
There are state revenue.
No, I agreed, but agreed that okay. You have IGR and all of that. What is the amount? You just stated that it's one of the states that even generates the lowest of internally generated, revenue. So when you minus 2.6 billion from the state's coffers, assuming they want to say that, it's an opportunity to engage people, everybody now becomes a land clearer, menial jobs. They will tell you it's an opportunity for people to be engaged, to get people. Is that the right way to spend the people's money? Okay. And funny enough, this approval went through the legislative process. Because if it did not go through the normal process of legislation, it will not be approved. So you could imagine that we even have people who are representing the people in Ekiti State House of Assembly who could have called the governor, the executive of government to order to say that, is it that what is in that land is something that I don't really get? Because even if you invest such amount of money in building industries, yes, the government of Ekiti State will not tell me today that they don't have industries that have been laying fallow for quite some time. And what such industry needs is just a little amount that will not even be up to what is being approved to clear lands. Then, like I've said before, if after clearing this land that they said they want to use for agriculture.
For use.
Now, you've not talked about the monies that will be used to buy tractors, machines, what will be used to get seeds and seedlings and some other farm implement and tools and all the paraphernalia of farming. This is just to clear the land. What does that tell you? It tells you that there is gross misappropriation of funds. And the people of Ekiti State should not allow this to fly, because for me, I see it as an opportunity for them to siphon public funds. Who does that? Is it that we feel we can just do whatever we like because we've had the opportunity to be elected into office as representatives of the people? There's what they call social contract in the democratic system of government. Before you go into such, a venture, you must get the people involved. You must sought their permission, their opinion to see if this is actually the wanted. And like I've said before, unfortunately, the House of Assembly that is meant to represent the people, that is meant to serve as the conscience of the people, has actually failed the people. Otherwise, I see no reason why any meaningful, reasonable House of Assembly would approve the sum of 2.6 billion to clear lands. So I think going forward, I'm sure the people, some persons are beginning to speak against it.
Okay, yes.
So if more voices begin to rise up to say that this is not right, and
there are preferences. There should be, there are the most important needs.
There has to be a scale of preference, basic economics. There has to be a scale of preference. What exactly we just talked about Edo State now. How the government of Edo State is talking about how the predecessor did not share books and all of that. And there are pressing issues that needed to be attended to. Farming is fantastic. Of course, we are talking about how to, grow our food banks, how the people need to be, sufficiently carried along in terms of food production and all of that.
Okay.
But we still have to be reasonable in doing some of these things, even if you want to steal money. I'm not saying that anybody is even if. I say even
okay,
if.
so, but that could be, do you think that, like you said, even if you want to steal money, does that mean that's a means of stealing money?
No, it is outrageously humongous. It's not, it's unheard of. It's something that...
Why you talked about the approval going through processes, you know, before it gets approved, the funds get approved.
Yeah.
Do you think they don't check all these things? Don't you think they check all those things before they approve the funds to the states?
Well, of course, the assembly members are meant to, you know, debate on it.
So they don't think that that money will not be used for the right purpose?
No, of course, perhaps one or two, you know, how do they call it now? Prayer points.
Okay.
You know how we send prayer points to the mailboxes of lawmakers. I didn't say anything, but what I'm trying to tell you today is the states' houses of assembly are meant to represent the conscience of the people, and I'm sure that the people were not sufficiently carried along, because I know if there was a public hearing, if there was an avenue for civil society groups to look at this kind of venture, I'm sure a lot of people would have spoken against it.
Okay.
And, you know, the voice of the people, they say, is the voice of God. So, conclusively, I think the governor of Ekiti State, or the government of Ekiti State, rather, has not done well in, you know, in whatever they think they want to do. Even if you want to improve in agriculture of the state, such an amount is too much to clear lands. There are other things that you can do. I think half of that amount will still suffice if we want to be sincere in this country. But we know how we do things. But going forward, the people should not just, you know, allow this to fly. They should see how to call their government to order, because that is equally the responsibility of the people. Government belongs to the people, and the voice of the people, they say, the voice of God. They should allow things to go accordingly with what is acceptable globally. I've gone through a lot of, you know, happenings in the world, and what you hear and see in this country is mind-boggling, and we need to, you know, have a rethinking how we do things.
Thank you, Mufasa.